And it's the same when people are talking about, the man has to be the provider and the protector. Yeah. But it's not all about material things. It's about emotional, spiritual, mental, and yeah, physical too.
And when you say that, you can see that the women have to provide this as well.
That's
Because
exactly
if you're the
right.
only one to provide those type of things, you're bored, you're tired, because it's energivore. It's like it's gonna take your
What did you
energy.
call it? An energy war?
No, energivore. That's what you said in I don't know if you can say that in.
Like
You
a
know when you say carnivore?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I like
So you
that.
say
That's a new.
energivore. Yeah, it's energivore. It eat your energy. If you only want doing something in the relationship, that's what it is. Welcome back to Read It Right.
I'm Elle.
And I'm Fab.
And here at Relate Right, we are all about relationships and helping you connect better with each other. And today, we are going to talk about the divine masculine and feminine.
The divine masculine and feminine.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for that beautiful intro. But listen, and as much as it is divine, right?
Yeah.
Social media will have you thinking the complete opposite. I feel like a lot of people are so confused about what masculinity actually is, like the divine masculine versus modern masculinity.
Yeah, but also there is this, and I feel also that like always they're lost because of those words
Right.
that we put in front of it. When you say masculine and feminine, show the way you divide. You
Yeah.
divide two things. You put a versus in the middle.
Yeah, they always want to have a separation between men and women.
Yes, yes,
And
even
it,
in the divine.
well, yeah, we're going to get to that later. But because technically, yeah, it's a little bit different, right?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when we talk about femininity, masculinity, when you hear people like Andrew Tate talking about it, I think a lot of people in social media take that as what masculinity should be, like what divine masculinity is.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas what he's talking about is misogyny. He's talking about hyperactive masculinity.
Yeah, but the thing is like why do you think the first definitions go to that way of masculinity, and because it still come from patriarchal
Yeah.
mindset.
Well, what was it? 10,000 years ago, patriarchy was introduced into the world and it spread like wildfire. And we are all conditioned. We were all conditioned all around the world to think that the feminine has negative connotations, whereas the masculine is somehow positive and leading the way and always knows what to do and
Yeah.
is supposed to be dominant and and whereas the feminine, like if there's any femininity in, let's say, a man,
Yeah.
that is weakness.
But it was introduced by European and Western world.
Yes.
But before them, matriarchal was there. The matriarchal,
Yes.
and that's the thing as well. A lot of those centers,
Philosophers.
philosophers and
Yeah.
everything, they never watch before this period. They always
Well,
talk about this period,
and maybe
and
they do, and maybe they don't like it.
oh, they don't like it because they come
Because
from
it's threatening.
exactly, and they come from the patriarchal education as well, even in in their houses, but also in their schools,
Yo, but
Harvard and all these
who
things.
does patriarchy serve? So of course.
Of course,
Of course, like if you have an ideology that serves you,
yeah,
a lot of people aren't going to look outside of themselves and be like, "Oh, wait, no.
yeah.
Let's
But you know,
change."
you know what is crazy? Even if it doesn't serve you, some of them are blind because it's inside their education. You know what
Well,
I mean?
yeah,
There
yeah.
is the one who know that they serve them, but some of them they don't, doesn't even serve
Well,
them
they don't
because
think that deeply anyway.
exactly
Right.
because doesn't help you in relationship, because doesn't help you in any different type of
Well, it
situation
doesn't
in life.
it doesn't.
So you don't realize it.
Well, what it does is it actually I think it actually takes quite the mental toll like mental health toll on men because the expectations, like as this patriarchy has evolved,
Yeah.
like the only real men, as like, the Andrew Tates of the world, I gotta say it again, will tell you is like the ones who are so rich, the ones who get lots of girls, the ones who are dominating conversations and dominating the workforce, dominating other men,
Dominating by violence
and aggression.
and
Not
aggression.
always violence, but aggression for
Aggression, yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Aggression for sure. And so it's like, but that really, those type of men are really the weak men.
Yeah.
That's actually not a strength. Like if you feel so insecure that you have to be validated by the outside world, and okay, yeah, cool, you build a fortune and that's amazing, and I'm sure you're good at one thing,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing you're good at.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to be a more dynamic whole person, whole human? Like, do you care about that one thing and how you look to others
Yeah,
rather than how you feel?
and that's where come from the misunderstanding
Right.
in those terms. Because also you put masculine and masculinity, but it's to look like the same word.
I think the world is confused, and this is what happens. This is what always happens when there's an ideology at hand, right? There's something that comes out that has positive intent, that's a positive message, like divine masculinity, which we're obviously going to go into deeper later, and then people take those ideologies, turn them around to suit whatever environment they're in. As they evolve and progress, they forget the actual meaning. And then what humans tend to do is like overdose on the ideology. Like there is like always like it's like there's always like a far movement on it that is completely missing the mark.
Be-
And that's what they're doing. So that, sorry to say,
Yeah.
but the divine masculinity turns into toxic masculinity in social media rather than promoting the fact that masculinity has to have a part of femininity in it.
When you say that, when you have a ideology who start with good intention and after
Yeah.
be changed by the mass, I would say,
Right.
it's directly divine masculinity. It's not. It's already the ideology already changed because the name for me it's not masculinity or
Yeah,
femininity.
yeah, yeah,
Femininity.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So this term already is already changed. It's not
Right.
the real term. You know.
Right.
You have to say another term, and we're gonna see that after. But and that's why, like you said, now it became toxic, even more toxic. But at the beginning, even the definition for me is toxic.
And you know what the most interesting part about the whole thing is when you talk about women, right?
That's
When you
why.
have feminine traits, when a man has feminine traits, he's weak.
Yeah.
When a woman has feminine traits, well, she's a woman and she's under you anyway, so you're not really like considering it weak because that's what the definition of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But when a woman has masculine traits, then nobody apparently wants her because
She's a
it's
beast.
negative. Right, she's a beast, she's defensive, she's aggressive, she's too strong, she's too domineering, she's too dominant, it's manly, yuck, ew. So it's like, what's the benefit for women? Like, where's it at? Because either way, it's not okay.
Yeah, but they said that the thing is like they said that to survive when you are in the survive mode, you are in the masculine mode.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then what does mean for the feminine mode, feminine trait?
Well, what they're trying to say is they have to put that down because there's no room for softness. There's no room for nurturing. There's no room for creativity in the masculine space.
There we go. There we go. So feminine, it's soft.
Yeah,
Feminine, it's submissive.
exactly. Exactly. And but that's the war. And that's what social media will tell you it is, and that's how people have confused these concepts.
Yes.
And masculinity is, well, divine masculinity and divine femininity is actually not really anything to do with gender. So
No.
let's go into that. So
Yeah.
in order to break down the concept, we have to understand what divine means.
Exactly.
And what divine is, it's literally when you think about the universe.
Yeah, it's our connection
Exactly.
with the universe.
Exactly.
The universe is inside you, and we are inside the universe.
Yes.
That's divine.
Yes.
The creation is divine.
Exactly.
Our planet that we live in is divine. And that's the thing as well. How can you be divine when you try to destroy your home
Yes.
as well?
Yes. And it's your connection with yourself, with others, with nature, with everything around you that
Around you.
is the universe. So divinity is you can't be divine if there's toxicity,
Yeah, yeah,
it's purity, it's
exactly. But also, you can't be divine if you don't understand that life, the life
yes,
itself, is divine.
exactly,
So when you make war,
yes,
when you kill to conquer, only to conquer, that means you never understand what is divine or what isn't.
that's
You know
exactly
what I
right.
mean? So when the people who start to say masculinity divine and find feminine divine come from a patriarchal dominant conqueror,
Yeah,
you see that there
there's
is
gonna
something
be
who
a
does
misunderstanding,
exactly.
or there's gonna be a very intentional a very intentional
There
use
we
of
go.
the concept.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
There we
Because
go.
when you actually when you look at what masculine divine is, or masculine energy is, it's supposed to transcend gender.
Yeah.
It's it has the name masculine, but it's not necessarily assigned to a gender.
Uh,
There's traits assigned to the concept.
exactly. And that's why it should not be masculine divine or feminine divine.
Right.
It should be a human divine.
Right.
The higher self of a human. The human.
The thing is though, and I think that's going to get real deep, but I think a lot of the times what we look at in the world in general, we look at everything versus something else, good versus evil, instead of there can't be good without evil. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
look at men versus women, or feminine versus masculine, but they cannot be one without the other. They cannot be harmony
Yeah.
without one another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so, for the sake of the podcast, we will continue to use divine masculine and feminine, because that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the words as we know them.
Yeah.
But with these characteristics and these energies, you can both have them. So the masculine one is really about strength, action, rationality, integrity, and emotional endurance,
Yes. Yes.
which it bothers me, because even the word itself is, regardless if it's supposed to transcend gender, it's understandable why folks associate it with gender,
Gender. Of course. Of course.
because the man is logical, the man is the provider, the man is the rational, the man is the curious, the wise.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
man is all of these things.
Yeah.
And
And when you define the
the
feminine,
well, the feminine energy is all about intuition and nurturing and emotional connection and all the fluffy motherly things.
who are not tangible, nothing's
Right.
tangible,
Right.
nothing's
It's
tangible
it's
in
like
life.
it's like free spirit moving intuition. How do you make a man understand what intuition is?
And you see, again, when you just say that, you can understand how it will benefit a man.
Right.
That means straight away in the education of a woman, she won't be able to reach the fact that, okay, I'm gonna take my own decision.
Yes.
I'm gonna do this if I want.
Yes.
If I want to take this, I'm gonna take it.
Right.
If I want to go by this way and climb this mountain, I'm gonna go.
Right.
If I don't want to do some things, I won't do it. And I'm still gonna be a woman. I'm still gonna be a high value woman. I'm still
Right.
gonna be a high value human. You know
Right.
what I mean? When you put this, it's easier even for them to introduce in the mind of a woman that she's still
Well,
under.
exactly. But see, this is the thing that I think people really need to take away from this is the fact that this is a spiritual concept.
Yes.
It's about spirit.
Yeah.
It's not about human.
Yeah.
It's about energy. And
Yeah.
so, you know, I think we read this article and it was given examples of divine masculinity.
Yeah.
And I actually found it quite interesting. And it talked about like the evolution of divine masculinity. And then it started off with like, you know, different cultures and how in different cultures, like, you know, let's say the Greeks
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Zeus was all about like, you know, leadership and war and all that stuff. And it was very masculine, not necessarily divine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then as time went on, they would like there was who else was there? I think
They
it
were
was
everyone. They were
the Shiva, the
Shiva,
Indian god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas he was a divine masculine, but then they start to introduce nurturing and
Yeah.
protective
Yeah.
characteristic father,
Yeah. Yeah.
but not father in the sense of like dominant angry, but in the nurturing,
nurturing,
the
yeah.
softness.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was interesting when they talked about Jesus Christ, for example.
For example, yeah.
They talked about divine masculinity, and that talked about compassion, nurturing. You know, it talked about all of these other words that are usually used for the
For the
feminine.
feminine.
And there is when you realize that it's in front of you. There are signs to show you that masculine energy and feminine energy has to coexist in all of us.
Yes. Yes. I mean, you take the example of God,
Yeah,
God
I
and things
know.
like
Of
that.
deities, like people,
Exactly.
who people worship, you know?
Exactly. But in spirituality and not religion,
Yeah.
spirituality come before the religion.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why the people who are spiritual, like African and other native people from from other lands, they didn't associate the divine with someone.
Yes.
The divine was in front of them all the time,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time, all the time. So when they see some things, it's divine. Not because it's divine, but its function make it divine. So, for example, when you watch the sun, they understand that without the sun, they won't be able to be there. They won't be able to eat. They won't be able to even see nothings without the sun. It's divine.
Yes, exactly.
Because without him, I'm not there. So
Well,
it's
it's
divine.
because yes, exactly, because they understand the value
Exactly.
of what's around them.
Exactly. And then after they understand that to understand what is divine, you need, on top of it, yourself to understand how to be and to
Divine,
reach
yes.
divinity.
Yeah,
To
because
try
not
to reach.
everybody understood that.
Exactly. But you need to understand. And there is different code that the creation put on earth for you to, if you try to reach, if it's your goal, your main goal in life, to reach your higher self,
Right.
so to be divine, you will be able to understand as well around you what is divine.
And that's exact your higher self. You just said it.
Yeah.
That's actually those are the characteristics.
Exactly.
Both of them.
Exactly.
Not opposing but complementary to reach your highest self.
And you see, since I talk about this, I didn't dissociate
Exactly.
man or woman or feminine or masculine.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Because to be a human, you need both. You
But-
need both to be a human, to be high and to reach a higher level. You need to have both. All the things that you said about the characteristic,
Yes.
you need to have both.
And that is the thing that I always have a problem with in the world because everyone thinks everything's black and white, left and right, but that's not the world. The world is literally everything in between.
Yes.
And I don't understand why people need to have definitivity in everything. When really, the definition is all the stuff in between. If you're too far on one side, if you're too masculine, you're toxic. It's not divine. If
Exactly.
you're too feminine, like with the energy that we described, well, you're not going to be successful in surviving, for example.
But
You're going to be a doormat.
the thing is, like, our goals in life is not to reach our higher self, and that's the problem.
Right.
We are in a system who value material, who value money, who value other type of things, who is the contrary of being your higher self. Higher self doesn't mean that you're rich with I don't know how many houses.
Yeah.
It's not that to reach a higher self or ride a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. That's not that. You can still ride a Lamborghini and have that much money and still be a shithead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, usually are.
You know? And so that's the thing as well. When you don't know, when you don't even have the, when you don't even know that you should try to reach your higher self, you won't be able to even understand the meaning of it.
Yeah, but how can you when the confusion is all around you? All the
Yeah.
messaging that you're getting is so mixed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think what happens is when you're, you know, spiritually disconnected from yourself, or like, even the meaning of life, or why you're here, and you're just focusing on work, survival, all the dramas around you, watching TV, all of that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I'm saying we all do it.
Propaganda and everything. Yeah.
It happens to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, we all live in this world.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're in a constant state of chaos and not knowing yourself, and not knowing that working on yourself and opening your mind is the goal to harmony within you and relationships, how do you have a relationship? How do you have a successful relationship when you don't actually understand that you need to tap into all of these energies?
That's the problem. You won't be able to have one. That's the thing. Some problem doesn't have solution.
Right.
That's the thing as well. And the only way when you are, I would say it's about ignorance as well. But when you are at this stage, you know who can help you? Someone who is aware about it and will teach you
Yeah.
that this side of life exists first,
Yeah.
and two, that this is the right way to fully understand yourself and try to reach a better of you, a better version of yourself,
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Other people help us as well to grow.
And
And
I think that's the other thing that we forget. Like, we forget that we are a collective.
yes,
We're not
yes,
like, we are individuals, of course, but we are part of a collective. And so when we are so far up our ego and don't allow others in because we're traumatized
yeah.
by so much dishonesty in our lives, how can we grow?
Um, that's the problem. That's the
And
problem.
in order to help somebody, like, you can't help me if I don't want to be helped.
No,
You can't change me if I don't want to be changed.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people would rather live with their, sunglasses on and not really be looking at the light because it's easier than to be aware and try to work on it.
let's face it. Some people we won't be able to save everyone, and that's the problem as well.
Yeah.
We won't be able to save everyone because, like you said, if you don't want to, there is a moment that you have to let the door open. Even if you are ignorant, even if you don't know certain type of things, that's okay. We are not. Everyone don't have the knowledge, the divine knowledge as well. And like I said, you need someone to teach you. Even the one who teach you have been teaching,
But
he learned from
the
someone.
best way to do that, though, is by example, and that's the thing. Like, people learn through example. People learn through watching.
Yeah,
And so it just depends on your external environments. or even your internal environments. But you know, like when you're conditioned by patriarchy, it's very difficult to look the other way because other people don't think that way.
And that's the problem, because it's deep. It's in the education,
Yeah,
childhood,
exactly.
childhood. Even before you're born,
Yeah.
it's there. So that's why I said, when it's that much in your education, only another human with another education that you will maybe meet at a certain moment of your life, or maybe at this moment you will be more open than other time, will show you by action or by other type of situation in life, will show you and maybe teach you. I don't say that you're gonna believe, is gonna believe directly or directly follow what this one said, but he will have another type of living, another point of view on life, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't say that he's gonna follow you, and that's what I say. Some people will never change, and some people cannot be saved.
Yeah, but I also think that it's not always up to somebody else to show you. I actually think that divinity is in all of us.
Divinity
And
is in all of us, of
and you
course,
can
of
you
course.
can actually awaken yourself. You can. Yeah, you can absolutely, because subconsciously you be knowing certain stuff. Subconsciously you tap into certain divine energies, intuitions, feelings that are there. It's just that we suppress them. We are not used to them. We read them incorrectly. And
Yes,
so that is why a lot of the time we don't understand what's happening. But really, like, your body always tells you, like, I I remember having, not knowing what's about to happen and having anxiety in my stomach. And my body knew what was about to happen. Like, it was telling me the future. And I listened and I was correct. However, that didn't always happen. That
yes,
doesn't always happen.
yes,
You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like, how many times people know they're in a bad situation, going down a dark alley with a person they don't necessarily trust, and something bad happens to them? They know, but they're not listening to their instinct. And it's the same with this. Like, you can tap into it if you want to, if you
yes.
want to do the work, if you want to be better, if you want to have better relationships.
Of course, but don't forget that we are living in a system who do everything for you to never
Being
go be in and go back.
a long-term relationships aren't a
No,
thing.
not just long term relationship, but I mean,
Right.
like, when you say that we all have divine inside us and we
Yeah.
can always find it, you know. Don't forget that we are in a society who try to put you far away from your divine, put you far away from your real instinct. And that's
Yeah.
the thing as well. That's what I said. If you are fully a consumer of this system, you won't be able to wake up. Because to wake up, you will have to go against the system.
It's funny that you say that, because, like, I watch all these, like, podcast influencers, all these people, and they talk about, like, divine masculinity, right? And I'll be like, yo, like, this person is woke, like, they get it. Like, divine masculinity is transcending gender, blah, 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 blah. And then if they touch on any divine feminine traits, I'm like, you lost me. You lost me. Because it's like, it's really difficult to grasp the entire concept.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the thing as well. It's like, we have natural biases.
Yep.
And we
Yep.
have these biases because of all the conditioning. So it's a process, but I do think that, like, over the years, you can see the evolution trying to come back. I see men participating in feminist movements, for example,
Yes.
not for their own benefit, just because they're understanding, or they want to be, or they want to learn. I'm not saying that we've reached some
No.
milestones,
No, for
but
sure.
I'm just saying that there is a slow evolution of people opening their eyes and trying to reach a level of spirituality and a level of harmony between each other. Like there are people who are actually working towards that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, it's not all the people uh, who don't want to change and are
No, I know.
fully into this system and consumer and patriarchal 100% point of view. No, some people try to change. Some people have been educated as well by people who try to change before as well. So that's why as well it's gonna be generation after generation, and that's why those type of podcast is good as well, because we have another point of view
Yeah.
also, and we don't teach anything, but we
Right.
give our point of view. And
Right.
that's the thing
Right.
as well. That's why I said you learn from people,
Right.
because even we are learning about this,
Yeah,
you
of
know.
course.
So you, even the people who are gonna teach you some things, they are still learning from another one, who learning from another one,
Yeah.
and that's why you call divine. That's why you call harmony. That's why you call
Yeah,
humanity.
if you put it into actual examples,
Yes,
like for example, divine masculine will is not necessarily leading with like aggression, right? It's a person who's a person, not a man, but a person who creates like a environment that's
environment.
productive,
Exactly.
an environment for growth,
And
and they do it in a nurturing way.
you can lead by going out.
Yes.
You can lead when you understand that someone is better at certain things
That's
than you,
exactly right.
then
Yeah.
you let him do it.
Yeah.
That's also leading.
Yeah.
When you know that you are the stronger and you go at the back to protect the pack,
Yeah. Well,
you also
your strength comes from the pack. Your
exactly,
strength comes from others,
exactly,
not just from you.
yes. So when you lead with aggression and violence, you are a tyrant.
That's exactly right.
Tyrant,
Yeah, that's
okay,
the word. Yeah.
better.
So another thing, for example, the divine masculine will be more observant,
Yes,
and
yes.
only then they will react. Like like they say how men are protectors, for example, but it's not protectors are going out beating people up.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like a divine masculine is just a person who's very aware of what's going on,
yeah.
who's going to take the necessary steps. And they're not always going to be aggressive or violent.
Yeah, because you
They're going to be
prevent.
strategic.
Because you prevent. When you observe, you can
Exactly.
prevent. You can do a
Exactly.
prevention
Exactly.
because you're observant.
Exactly. Um, so, for example, aggression, that's toxic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas calm and centered, that's very divine. You can still get what you want from that. There's plenty of times when people have led through fear.
Yes.
And what happens when you lead through fear?
You.
You don't always get the desired outcome.
But that's the thing as well. If when you are not knowledgeable enough,
Yeah.
you're gonna see that the people who are more aggressive are not the smartest one. That's the thing as well. Not the one like you said who gonna be calm and who gonna reflect on certain
Yes.
situation.
Yes.
As they can't do this process, they're directly gonna act
Yeah.
by violence or aggression or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's why we realize with the different human as well. You can see it,
That's a weakness in itself.
of course, of course.
That's a weakness in itself.
And they will tell you that when you take time and you say no and you react, you process the situation, you find the solution in a calm way, you know, they're gonna tell you he's less masculine than the guy who directly go
And be somebody
and be
else. Which is
exactly.
crazy. Which is crazy. And you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Because but that's macho shit. That's macho show off shit to show, oh yeah, I'm the boss, I'm the one, I'm the most masculine guy here, but really, you're not. Because and they always say the loudest in the room is the weakest.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
the same shit. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. And it's the same when people are talking about, the man has to be the provider and the protector. Yeah. But it's not all about material things. It's about emotional, spiritual, mental, And yeah, physical too.
And when you say that, you can see that the women have to provide this as well.
That's
Because
exactly
if you're the
right.
only one who provide those type of things, you're bored, you're tired, because it's energivore. It's like it's gonna take your
What did you
energy.
call it? An energy war?
No, energivore. That's what you said in I don't know if you can say that in.
Like
You
a
know when you say carnivore?
yeah, I know.
Okay.
I like
So you
that.
say
That's a new.
energivore. Yeah, it's energivore. It take it eat your energy. If you only want doing something in the relationship, that's what it is.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm laughing because when you said that energy war, y'all, can we make this a viral word? Like I love it. I love it so much. No, but we saw that reel by GQ. Was it Chris GQ Perry? I like him.
I
I think he's cool. I think like he has good stuff. And you know, he was the one who was kind of talking about a woman can't be what is it? A woman can't be in her feminine unless the man is providing and protecting, right? It's kind of like just what you said, right? Um, and I remember saying to you, I remember this is a little while ago. I remember saying to you, I'm like, oh, you're the first person who's made me feel like I can be feminine. And
yeah
you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
yeah yeah.
Do you remember that?
I kind of remember that because that was like what are you talking about? You feminine?
Yeah, I
You
know,
know,
but
I couldn't see it because
right.
I didn't know you from before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I see that you change,
Yeah.
but now I understand what you mean even more. You know what I mean? But that's the thing as well. To reach, because we say masculine and feminine because of the
Yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
the subject, but to reach your higher self,
Yeah.
you will need someone in your relationship.
Yeah.
It and you will need someone as well to help you reach your higher self.
That's true.
Because if you are with someone who's not in the same level, not especially in the same level at the same moment, but even don't his goal is not the same as you about these type of things, the
Yeah.
spiritual way of living and things like that.
Yeah.
He's gonna put you down, and it's gonna be hard for you to reach certain step, because you know we go step by step in
Yeah,
those type of
absolutely.
spiritual
Yeah.
high divinity goals, you know.
Yeah.
But you can also all the time go down, and after you have to go up again and go
Yeah.
down. But if this one never go up, he's always gonna drag you down. You know what I mean?
Well, that's gonna cause problems.
And you're gonna see that sometimes you are with someone who doesn't help you to reach your higher self, and you find someone who help you reach your higher self, and you're gonna see the difference in your relationship. In even from the thing that you're not good at,
Yes.
you're gonna be better with another human, with another partner next to you. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Sometimes it's hard to put words into energy or
Yeah,
energy into words.
yeah. Same,
The
same.
other way, energy
The
into words. Yeah,
metaphysical world.
it's hard because it is a feeling and you have to trust that feeling. So when I say to you, you made me feel feminine at that time, I was viewing it kind of like everybody else viewed it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I was able to be soft. I was able to trust you. I was able to let you take care of me.
That
Right.
and that's not what I was uh, not looking for, but
Right.
only.
No, I know.
And that's why as well you are a bit.
But no, because you said to me, you're like, yeah, but you do all those things for me too. And I'm like, yeah. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, well, that's just like, obviously I do. And I
Yes.
would.
Yes.
But for me, it was difficult to allow you to do that for me. And that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yep.
Because in some ways, maybe I didn't think I deserved it, or maybe I didn't think, maybe I didn't, I don't know, want you to.
Yeah. Or
Because
maybe.
I didn't want someone to because I didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to
That's the
say
thing.
is that
That's the thing.
this is the first time I felt safe.
When
You
you feel
know?
safe, when you feel safe somewhere, imagine you are in the land and you know you're safe. Then you're gonna explore.
That's
You're
exactly
gonna
right.
explore, and
That's
you're gonna see that
exactly
you're
right.
good to do this, good to do that. If you're not
Yeah.
safe, you stay where you are and you defend. You're in defense. You're
Right.
in defense mode. You don't go anywhere. You stay where you are.
And in my mind, I was in a my I in my mind I was thinking that is my masculine. I was just operating in masculine, masculine, masculine. But I understand now I was operating as a trauma response to
Yeah.
different things that have happened in my past. And it's not
Yeah.
necessarily masculine. It's like survival instinct.
And you can be in your survival mode physically or emotionally.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. Survivor doesn't only mean like you have to live, you have to preserve your life, your physical
Yeah.
life, but sometimes you have also to preserve your mental health, and you have to be in the defense mode even with your different. And that's where I come from. Just the thing that you talk about.
It's true. And I feel like as you said that, and as I'm having this conversation with you, you also tapped into your feminine and divine feminine
Yes.
as our relationship went on. Because I feel like you were also in a different way, very
Yes.
defensive,
Of course, I
very
was.
untrusting,
Of
very, you know what I'm
course.
saying?
Of course, I was. I
Avoiding
was.
to get hurt at any
Yes,
cost.
of course, because I also come from another relationship. And that's the
Exactly.
problem. We all come from another relationship at one point. Except if it's your first, you are still with your first partner, you know?
And it's a hard, if you've only been with one person, it's very hard to assess the health of your relationship because you don't have anything to compare it to. Not to say that you should compare
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just you should absolutely compare your experiences and the way you feel
You will
in these
feel.
environments.
Yep. Not with others.
Yeah, exactly.
Not with others.
Right. Yeah, not simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's not what I
And
mean.
that's a deep conversation. That's a
Right.
deep conversation. And that's why there is no feminine or masculine.
That's what I
It's the
mean.
situation who make you what you are. It's the
Exactly.
situation that you are who gonna lead your intention and your emotion. That's the thing. If you are with someone who bring you the safe area
Yeah.
physically but emotionally, then you're gonna bring that to him as well. Because even if he bring that to you, doesn't mean that he's safe. Doesn't mean that he don't have trauma as well. So
That's
when he
exactly right.
so when he gonna bring that to you, and consciously or consciously, when he gonna bring that to you, then you're gonna be able to reciprocate for him. And then he gonna realize as well, that's what happened to me as well, that okay, now it's okay. Now we can be safe.
Right.
Now let's explore.
Yep.
Let's go. And that's a beautiful feeling
Yeah.
when we talk about relationship, because that's our purpose in that in this. That's how you reach the higher self or the divine relationship. I'm willing to find the things like that as well for relationship, divine relationship. I don't know,
It's true. I
you
mean, the
know.
divine relationship is divine relationship is the divine relationship with yourself and then with your partner
Oh yeah,
because what happens is when you're both working towards accessing your higher self and nurturing both parts of the masculine energy and the feminine energy and you're operating from a like very complementary place of
yes,
both of these energies and you're
yeah,
nurturing you're accessing both of them
yeah,
when you need them, then you're feeling good, your partner's feeling good, and you're achieving harmony within each other. Because what's happening as you're complementing these energies inside you, you're also complementing these energies with each other.
and the thing that's the thing as well. Do you imagine, for example, how many time you need to understand those type of things? It's gonna change. It's depend of the people. Some people will take 10 years,
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
depend. But when you start to reach this point,
Mhm.
arguing, down moment, or whatever bad happen in the relationship,
Yeah.
you will always find the solution
You will. You
because
will.
you are in your divine mode.
And you'll also operate from a place of compassion and respect towards your partner, even in those down moments, because that's
Yeah,
so important. And I
yeah,
think a lot of the times that doesn't happen when people don't access this feeling.
It's already hard to find someone who match your energy.
Facts.
And when you start to understand that, then with all the, I would say, way we have to go out of our relationship soon as we have a problem because we think we can find someone just like that. When you start to go into this path and of divinity of higher self, better to be better all the time, but with your partner, the connection you have, you understand that all the things that you see is just body and other human.
That's exactly right.
And when you start to see that like that, you're not attracted to those type of things anymore. You know,
Yes.
you're not attracted to this. Yeah, you attract to know people,
Yeah, of course.
but
Yeah.
you're not attract like you don't want to break because
Yes.
it's divine. Again,
Exactly. Well,
that's where come
it's
from the divine.
the connection is no longer just physical. It's no longer just mental. It's no longer just emotional. It's also spiritual.
Yeah,
And like I'm literally picturing energies intertwining. Like I'm
yeah,
literally
yeah.
picturing that, and it's again, it's so hard to put that into words.
Yes,
But the relationship between two people needs to encompass all of these properties.
yes.
It can't just be
It
one.
can just be
It
one
has to be all four.
because they all
It has
go
to
together
exactly.
to
It has to
form.
be like the physical and the metaphysical. It has to be
Yeah,
you have to work on all of those things. And like I said, it's not and that's what humans don't understand. I think as humans we tend to think very black and white.
yeah,
But not everything that's here we see.
yeah.
And we feel. And that's why it's so important to really tap into this.
And do you think you want to break this when you connect all these dots together during your relationship life? You know that when you say that spiritual, mental,
Yeah.
everything's connected, But to connect all these things takes time to connect them all at once. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? When you start to do that, do you think you want to break it? No,
No,
it's
no.
not in your head all the time. It's how we fix it.
And that's the other most important thing is finding someone, being with someone who's gonna work just as hard as you, who wants to succeed, to grow, to learn as much as you do.
Yes.
And that's also a recipe for success because you both have to want it. If one of you don't want it, then it's really pointless.
If one of you want to reach his better self, is one of you want to succeed with you, not just I want to succeed
Right.
and drag you because I succeed. I want to succeed and see you succeed as well.
Right.
The same way you will watch me to succeed. You know, when when you have this person next to you, you feel like even if you have, I don't know, less money, even if you have something happen,
Like a health problem
health
or
problems,
some tragedy.
you still feel safe. That's
Right.
this thing is so powerful. You still feel safe, even
That's
if around you it's a cyclone,
it's chaos. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
chaos. You
Yeah.
still feel safe, and that's where the energy that we talk about, that we can really put word on it. This is the things. You still feel safe even if there is chaos around you because the one who's next to you bring you this safety.
Yes.
Even if I fail, her hand or his hand will be there.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why as well I said all the time, a woman is not a good woman if she's only submissive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you need a woman who's powerful, who's strong as well when you're down. Because you're gonna be down. You can talk as you want. You can do musculation and be like that as you want. You will be down sometime. And if your woman is not there to bring you back, who's gonna do it?
You're gonna be resentful.
Who's gonna do it?
Right. If everything's on your shoulders, that's a weakness for
That's
you.
exactly. It's energivore.
Okay. And on that note, let's get into the questions.
Let's answer the family.
Yeah. All right, relate, right, family. What you got for us? Okay. Oh, what made you guys want to start this channel?
What just what we talk. I think now that we talk about that,
Yeah.
I think it's what we just talked just before.
Right.
As we had all those discussion in our couch
All the time,
all the
every
time,
night for hours.
yes, and try to figure it out, those energy, try to understand. Sometimes I've argued, sometimes we are not agree on certain things. And as we were trying to understand, but we seen at the end of all those discussions that we're still going on the same way.
We're aligned, yeah.
We are aligned. We are like, maybe we could help people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we could just talk about it and help people.
Absolutely.
Maybe some people will watch our video and say, "Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't think about that like that."
Yeah.
Not for fame or something like that. I don't care about fame. I don't care about this. But to really have a community of people who try to reach their higher self in the
Yeah.
relationship, but as a human as well.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
can't have one without the other, hey?
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's we feel like we understand some things in a way. So we were like, let's share it
Yes.
with others. That's where I
Yeah.
come from.
We're just passionate
Exactly.
about each other and our love. And honestly, one of the reasons I just want other people to feel that too.
Exactly. Yeah. That's that as well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you share this feeling.
Yeah.
Share this feeling. And also, yeah, no, you say everything. You say everything. That's exactly that. Like always.
You see how our masculine and feminine complement each other?
Always.
All right. I have a hard time being expressive. I have a hard time expressing my emotions, and it's causing tension in my relationship. How can I become more vulnerable and open up with my partner? Yeah, but we actually have an
An
episode.
episode about
Yeah,
this.
so we have an episode. It's submissives versus vulnerable. So check that out. Check that out. We're gonna put it up here for you to click
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna see, and you're gonna we go deep into those two
Into that
differences.
topic.
But just to maybe give you one of the answers is like you need to ask yourself why, for real, you can be vulnerable. Is it come from past trauma? Is it come from you? Or is it the fact that your partner doesn't bring the safe space
Yeah.
for you to be vulnerable? First, you need to realize what it is
Well, to do
at
that,
first.
yeah, to do that, if you're not feeling, if it is past trauma, and if you don't feel safe, you might not know why. And so, start with something small. Tell him or her something that is very, is personal to you, but you're okay to share, just to see their response.
You may not know, but you may know if you don't say some things because you're scared of his reaction
Right, right,
or
right,
her
right, right,
reaction.
right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I said. I don't say that you will know which trauma
Yeah.
lead to which problem inside you,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be able to know if you're scared about his reaction or you scared to talk.
Or or
That's it.
you're scared because you don't know what his reaction will be. That's the thing.
Then that's mean you need to
Get to know him a little bit
a
better
little bit
through
better.
a little bit of trial and error, a little bit
Yeah.
of testing.
Also,
Yeah,
you start really small. You start by
exactly.
some things really small, and you start to see.
Just see what they react like. If you feel comforted or
Yeah.
heard,
Yeah.
you can try again with something a little bigger.
And,
But if you don't, well, you got to think about that.
and don't be scared to talk to him. Don't just like make it like a game. You say, babe, let's be a bit vulnerable today. I want to say some things deep.
Oh, that's a bit cute.
So you can talk like that.
Yeah, you can actually. Yeah.
And see also the reaction. And then you're gonna be able to watch the video together.
So, yes, our video. All right. How do I navigate a long distance relationship successfully?
Long distance relationship. I don't know if I believe in it, but
I think long distance relationships are definitely Look, if you're already in a relationship and you had to go for work and
Oh, that's
you're there
different.
for
Yeah.
6 months, or you had to study and you're there for a year
That's
and that's
different.
it, that's different. But if you're in a long distance relationship and you don't really have plans to be together, or one of you move, or is honestly a dead end. Like, it serves a purpose. It's a great thing if you are not ready to commit and
Yeah.
you think you are, but you're just kind of lying to yourself because you've sought that out, both of you, because it works for you. Your independence works for you, but you just have a companionship over the phone. Like,
You are in a situationship.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
That's the thing as well. You need to know if there is no if there is no plan
Right,
of you, both of you, at one point you've been together, or he's coming, or you coming to see him, or you coming to live with him.
right.
If there is no at the end no plan to of that, then yeah, it's like a
It's
situationship.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So you
Um,
got to think about, do y'all have a common goal? Who's making moves when?
is it real?
Because,
Yeah.
right,
Is it
right.
real?
Because if it was, one of you would make moves.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of you would make the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And just remember, you do need the physical. You do need the physical for a relationship to last. So, like we said earlier, physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. And you're missing the key
You're missing the
ingredient
key
there.
ingredient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. Can a relationship work if we have different life goals?
It can. It can work.
Yeah,
But you need to have a main goal together.
exactly.
And the main goal is like make sure that the relationship is fulfilled in all those points that we talked about before, but also having goals together. You need to have goals together.
Yeah,
You can have your own goals, but your partner need to help you to reach it, and you need to help also your partner to reach their goal.
yeah,
It's always like that. You cannot work on your goals by yourself and be like that, and on the side there is your family. No,
yeah, yeah.
I don't
You
believe in that.
definitely you can have different goals. Like Fab said, you can't have different values. You have to have the
You
same
have to have the same
values,
values. Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to have a commonality. Obviously, you have to be aligned in your ultimate, like, togetherness, like your goal as a
That's the thing.
relationship.
That's the
So,
thing. That's the thing.
but yeah,
Yeah,
of course you can have different goals.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you didn't, that would be weird.
That would be one.
You know what I mean?
But in each of those goals, your family or your partner should be able to introduce himself
Yeah.
in these goals.
Facts. Facts.
That's the thing.
All right. Well, that's the wrap.
That's a wrap.
Now that's the wrap.
I hope you like this deep conversation.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who could benefit.
And until next time, take care and nurture your relationship, guys. Relate right.